And welcome back, everyone. Well, Shaun Cameron is a local actor and a film enthusiast and my CKX co-worker. And we're here today, he's joining us to give you some great video rental ideas if you're staying home, maybe with some popcorn and some beverages for Halloween. And Shaun, it's nice to have you on the show. Thank you very much. Coming down the hall.
Thank you.
I had the popcorn almost ready for you, but some in my office after.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. So let's start, I think, with some of your picks, because a lot of people going out to Halloween parties and socials tonight, but a lot of people staying home to watch movies. So what did you pick? I asked Shaun, give me some of your top ones.
Yeah, definitely. I did a rundown. I started off with Night of the Living Dead, way back from 1968. It's a black and white movie directed by George Romero. It's a bit of a cult classic, actually, and you know, it's got some interesting sort of intricacies as far as CGI that people nowadays will look at and kind of laugh at, but back then it was cutting edge. So
yeah, and sometimes this one hasn't been remade, has it, or has it?
It was remade in the early 90s with a color version, but it wasn't near as good. So.
Shaun says watch for the one from back in 1968. Excellent.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Sometimes the remakes, everybody tries to remake them, but they're not as good. Yeah. Okay, next one, Friday the 13th. And Nightmare on Elm Street.
Either or, you know, I grew up in the 1980s, so it's great, you know, it flashes back for me. You know, Jason Voorhees and Freddy both have been killed, reincarnated, killed again, and then killed one more time for good measure. Probably a horror franchise that they should give up on now. But yeah, if you can search back to the early versions of both movies are great.
Yeah, and when these came out, I mean, I remember too when those came out, and they were scary. These are kind of your typical Halloween ones.
Definitely,
because some are more eerie and creepy. These ones are just like shock.
Yeah, pure shock.
Now, I've not heard of this one, and Shaun says this is one of his personal favorites. I don't know if it's because it has his name in it, but it's Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead was great. 2004, it's got Simon Pegg in it, who's from the Hot Fuzz sort of franchise type of thing. It follows Simon Pegg's character, who's slightly less than motivated. I think he's a grocery clerk. And he basically just battles zombies in his hometown. And in typical sort of horror fashion, they're the slow-moving zombies. So I guess you just run fast enough and you get away from them.
Yeah, the best. You can see them coming for a mile, but they're still going to catch up somehow.
Some great camera work in that one as well. Not a whole lot in the way of plot, but you know, you'll have fun with it.
Okay, that's a good. Okay, Shaun of the Dead. Now this one, of course, classic. For any time of year, but especially Halloween. Ghostbusters, love this one.
Definitely, another cult classic, as I said earlier. Ghostbusters, awesome movie. You know, Bill Murray in it. He's a great, funny man. Canadian Dan Aykroyd in it. You know, Ivan Reitman directed it. Harold Ramis, another great performance in there. And you know, not the second one, not near as good as the first one, but if you can track down the first one, awesome.
As it often happens. While we have this shot, I just want people to take a look at some of. We did a piece on the Robertson Career College on how the students had made all these great jack-o'-lanterns, carved all these pumpkins in this contest, and they very nicely allowed us to take some of them to put on the set today to decorate our set. So I've got one over here, you can't quite see it. This is the Kiss one. I love that. The whole band is there. I love this. It's actually the guitar stuck at his head. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't remember which guy is this?
Gene Simmons.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
It's okay. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody yelling in my ear.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we want to just thank the students for that. Now this last pick of yours is 30 Days of Night.
30 Days a Night I went and seen. Actually, it was released in the theater last year in time for Halloween.
Okay, so this is a fairly new...
Yeah. Josh Hartnett is in it. It is a very scary movie, actually. And, you know, probably one that you want to hit play after the kids have gone to bed, because it's quite gory as well. Interesting take on the Dracula franchise. A lot of similarities with the Dracula story. Other than landing in London, they land in Alaska. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Josh Hartnett, so that's a fairly new one. Now I've got some as well that I really have liked, and I'm not huge on the shock gore ones. They've been there, done that in the theaters kind of thing, but we don't have a image to show you of this, but I don't know if you've seen this, The Others, starring Nicole Kidman, and that's really sort of one of my favorites. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's one of those creepy, eerie, turn the lights down low, and there's not a lot of stuff nothing really jumping out at you, and sometimes that's more effective, I think.
Definitely, yeah. It's not often the thing that hits you in the face. It's, you know, the camera turns and there's something scary sitting there, and that's great. That's a lot better, I think, than the gore.
Yeah, the kind that when you go to bed at night, you're still thinking about it. The other one that's sort of along that line, and tell me if you agree, Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Now, that was sort of like the first
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan, I think, has since then not sort of had as much success with his movies.
Yeah.
I think maybe his secret is out.
Yeah, he's kind of gone downhill with them, like The Village, and I believe it was The Happening was the most recent one, and Sixth Sense was great. You know, it caught a lot of people off guard, but he's kind of gone downhill from there.
Yeah, I really like that one too. A lot of cinematography. Watch for the color red. You know, you think about all these things after you've seen it. So that's my pick. Now this one, Psycho, happens to be, and this is, we're talking about remakes and remakes upon remakes. This is the original movie, the original Psycho, of course, Hitchcock classic.
Yeah.
I watched it many years sort of after it came out. I thought, oh well, it was on one night, black and white, I'm going to watch it. Scared me far more than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, there's a lot of people say that that's, you know, the greatest horror movie ever. You know, Janet Leigh is great in it. You know, bad night probably to stay at the Bates Motel because it doesn't end out well for her. Yeah. But yeah, I was doing some reading again last night on it, and pretty well everyone says greatest horror movie of all time.
I think it's like the #1 video rental too for Halloween. And last but not least, The Shining.
Yeah, definitely a Stephen King, you know, adapted by Stanley Kubrick, who was the director of it, and you know, great movie. You know, probably one of the most iconic moments in film with you know, the Jack Nicholson hacking the axe through the door, and you know,
absolutely.
Here's Johnny.
And the two little creepy girls, the little ghosts at the end of the hallway too, when that kid comes around, red rum. Anyway, I love that one too. And I need to rent that myself.
Yeah.
Shaun, thank you so much. Lots of fun. We'll do this again, not just at Halloween. I like this.
Great.
Thanks so
Sounds
much.
good.
Shaun Cameron, thank you very much. And don't go away, everyone. Sports is up next.